So now we're going to add some conversion tracking. So the two conversions we want to track is obviously link clicks for phone calls, and we want to also track form submissions. Those are our conversions that we're going to be having. So what we're going to be doing is using Google Tag Managers to send that data to Google Analytics. Google Analytics is going to make sure that it records it properly with our events and conversions. And then that data is going to be sent using, let's move me to the top right, our Google Ads link, which we've already linked previously to our Google Ads account. This will then send the data to Google Ads, which we can then set as a conversion, which can take 24 to 48 hours from us setting this up. So we always want to make sure we set this up early. So how are we going to do that? So Google Tag Manager has two things we need to be aware of. We've got tags, which is what is going to happen when we do something. We've got the triggers, which is going to trigger one of the tags. So they're what we're going to be looking for. Now let's come to our analytics quickly, because there's something we're going to get. We want to come into our data streams, Plumber Mog, and we're going to want this measurement ID. This is going to be what we use to make sure that the data gets sent from Google Tag Manager to this account. So coming into our Tag Manager, we'll come over to our variables. We're going to configure this quickly. I like to set up a few particular things. I like to make sure that we can see click elements, classes, IDs, basically all information is on click. I won't be worrying about forms. And depending what things you want to track, there's a few details there. Now, I'm also going to have a user defined variable. And this is going to be my tracking ID, which I'll need later. So we're going to keep that there and track that. Move myself to the bottom because I'm always in the wrong place. Oh, that's the universal that we've changed, haven't we? Google Analytics for 1 second. There we go. We're going to change this up. We're just going to set up a simple variable. We'll just set it as a constant so that it's something we don't need to come back to multiple times. That way we've always just got it in the account. Keeps it simple. And we're going to set up our first tag. Now we're going to set up our link clicks. So what do we do? So this is going to be a GA4 event for link clicks. So tag configuration, Google Analytics, GA4 event, measurement ID. Here it is. So we've got our constant there. So this event shall be a link click. So anytime a telephone link gets clicked, what's going to happen is the event name link click is going to get sent to Google Analytics for this measurement. Now, what is going to trigger this? Quite simple. We're going to set up a link click action. And click on just links. Some links. Click URL contains tell. So that way I know if someone clicks a URL on my page that this Google Tag Manager is attached to, that the link contains tell, it will trigger this tag. So we're going to save that. We know that that's going to get triggered, so we can save that. And we've now got our first link. Now, secondary. We will also want our GA4 event. For our form submission. So exact same as previously. Google Ads 4, GA4, measurement ID, throw it in from what we saved, event name, form submission, triggering. Now this is going to be different because what we're going to do is we're triggering on page views. So we'll add a new one, page view. Thank you page. because we know that the only way to get to the thank you page is from going through our form. So page URL contains thank you. If you want, you can put the whole URL here. I just like to leave it as this, keep it simple, and make sure that my thank you page is /thank you. Depending on how many things you want to track, you can create multiple different page URLs for tracking individual forms. You just make sure that they all get sent to different forms and create new triggers and create new things here. So that's quite simple. And save there. Now, last off, we want to come in here and we want to make sure that we've just got our linking conversion linker. Just make sure this is set up. This just makes sure data can come through properly, and we just set this to all pages so it shows up on all pages. So that should be all we need to make sure that we're tracking anyone coming to the thank you page through our form, anyone clicking our tell links for ads. There we go, so we can submit both of those. Save this. Put in the data if you wish to. I'm going to keep it simple. There we go. So now that is all set up. Now a quick good way to do this is make sure these are working. So we're going to quickly come in and we're going to click preview. We're going to, don't need that for the moment. We're going to come to our site, we're going to connect. Now, depending sometimes on what tools you have, if you've got certain blocking on your PC, you may not see this properly, but we can see that we are connected. So if I bring that over here, bring that over there, I can see that I'm connected properly. Now, as I click around, we should hopefully start seeing some things happen. Okay. So here, let's click one of my buttons with a tell link. So as I was trying to make a phone call, but we can see it didn't. But we can see immediately that my tag fired GA4 event tell link click. So we can tell it happened immediately. Fired a second time, outbound clicks, so we know it's working. And it would be very similar if I knew I was going to go to a thank you page as well. So we can tell that is all set up correctly. Next off, we do want to make sure that it is receiving, however, on the end of our analytics. So we've got events in here. It will take some time for the events that we've just created to show up, but what we can do is come in and create new conversion events. So when we do these, we just want to make sure we choose the exact same naming as we created earlier in our tags. So here we know this one is called form submission, new event name. There we go. So I know that I'm going to have to quickly go back and change that as well. So there we go. So we've got both of those in there. Those will now count as conversions, which we can then send to Google Ads later. So let's just quickly show you how to do that. I'll bring Google Ads and be right back. So I'm in my Google Ads. Let's come in here to conversions and our summary. So now these won't be here yet, but I'm going to show you where they will be. So new conversion actions, import Google Analytics 4, web, and here they are. These actually came through sooner than I expected. Usually they can take 24 to 48 hours. So I'm going to click both of those and import them. Done. So now I have 2 conversion actions available in my account. Obviously this will take a couple of days, but we will be tracking it. there are tools you can use to start seeing how things are coming in. So let's go to our analytics. If we come to our home, we can come in here so we can see some of the real-time data, which is really cool. We can see that we've obviously been here. And we can also see that these tell-link clicks have been coming through and some of the interactions on the page as well. As you can see, we picked them up as debug mode, but we know that these are all working.